All right. So, hello, Rocketeers. Welcome to exclusive webinar with amazing founders, and in special in this BFCM event, which has started from 13th, and with the founder you're seeing on the screen right now. So today we have a very special founder who has built something unique in a very competitive industry. A tool called Nureply, which is a cold email outreach tool powered with AI. So you can do sensible outreach, which is personalized, and sell more of your stuff. So please welcome Onur from Turkey. Thank you, Onur, for joining in, taking out your time, and having a chat with us in this special webinar and with our Rocketeers. So glad to have you.
Yeah,
And again,
thank
thank
you.
you for taking your time.
Thank you for having me. It's like really great to see people interested in outreach.
Yeah, of course. So I think that they've been very interested to see how it's working out for them. And
Yeah,
this industry is very special because it empowers you, someone who is starting from scratch, to bring customers using outreach, right? Not invest in paid ads, but use very creative stuff to get people's attention. So I think you have done a good
exactly.
job in building a tool that does it. So before we start, people would like to know how did the idea of Nureply came in. The name as well is very special because we can create good, headlines with this,
Yeah.
good creators with it. So people would like to know how you did that, and how did you assemble the team and the background. So let's start with that.
So I generally like this question because it gives me a lot of power to explain how we
It takes you
decided.
back, right, to the okay,
Exactly.
from the
So
first customer, from the first code which I pushed to the production.
it is a super interesting story for me, at least. I was like really surprised how it turned out, but like let me give you a quick breakthrough. So I had my software agency before starting the Nureply. I have worked with like the huge clients, including the Swiss banks, like big companies, design agencies across the Europe, like so many people. But at the same time, like I really like to say this, like biggest learning management system company in Turkey. They were also our client, and we were managing like their management system from scratch, including they were like selling this system to even the Turkish Airlines. Like I guess everybody knows Turkish Airlines. It's like a huge
Of
company,
course. Yep.
you know. And it was great when you're riding the wave, and then it starts hitting you. You're working with big clients. You can, whenever you reach out to someone, like or like meet someone, they say, you are working with big clients. It's not easy to just like pay for you. I was like, we are focusing on every kind, like every size of businesses, but why do you think this? It's hard to convince, and you realize you need more people, like reach out to more people, and then understand their positions so you can overcome, etc. But it doesn't work with like 5, 10 people. And I that was the first time I started to do like things to market the software agency. I tried paid ads. It was a real disaster. It was like, you're paying so much, especially on the agency side, almost impossible to get something like valuable with that much of money you're spending. And then I started sending email to people. I didn't know like the cold outreach at all. I was thinking like, if I send email, somebody will eventually reply and I can talk to them. And it didn't work out at all. Like, because I was sending the same email to like 100 people, and these 100 people was directly marking it as spam. And it wasn't working. And I decided, okay, so if I send email one by one, and if I put their name and the company name, it might work. And I'm still not aware of any of the tools on the market, what's going on, what's outreach. I have no idea. And it still didn't work. It was fine, better than before, but and eventually it killed my main domain, because I was sending from the main domain of my business, and it was another disaster. And eventually I realized there were courses, like people talking about outreach, growth hacks, this, that. And I said, like, okay, I need to learn this. And when you start digging it, you realize it needs to be really personalized for that person you're reaching out, and somehow you need to get their attention, etc. And I was lucky at that time. We were in the like closed beta of GPT-3 from the OpenAI, and I was playing with it, but I didn't find a really good use case. And in one night while sitting with a friend, I realized like what I'm doing is for personalizing the emails, checking this person's website, business website, their LinkedIn profile, and then writing something about it. But it was like taking my 6 hours a day. It was not scalable at all. Then I said, okay, if I copy my voice with AI, if it's possible, somehow fine tune it to the limit, I will eventually get something to automate this whole process. Okay, fine. Just trying, it didn't work. It works, it doesn't work. Like it just like goes back and forth. And eventually I realized I can do this better. And I have, as a developer at that time, I just bring some open source models, make a pipeline, like a huge thing, like get the data from here, make the data accessible, and then push it into the AI. It was a huge pipeline. And it started working, from 100% spam to literally getting like 10-20% replies. And I was like, instead of just focusing on sending emails, I was focusing, just the customer and what they need. And that's the important part of the business. The rest is just like fizz buzz. It doesn't matter. The real focus is getting a customer into the meeting and talking with them, or like clicking your link, seeing your website, just filling out a form. That's the main focus. And while I was talking about it, I said like, why am I not making a product out of it? Like I can do this. And it started like this. It was fun. The first version of Nureply, I'm talking here, but it was like a real, just so simple. You were just like uploading a CSV file, choosing the columns, and getting some icebreakers. That's it, nothing else. And I just wanted to test out this MVP. Created a Facebook group with a friend. He helped me to scale it. Eventually, we decided to have like 30 closed beta testers. And when they were like testing the product, they were like, holy shit, this is something else. Like this is huge. We want to test that out. And we said like, okay, let's try our chance and make it paid. And in the first day, literally on the first day, like 20 people out of 30 literally bought a subscription plan.
Oh,
it was huge, like 60% people just like buying, and they are wanting more and more credits. And it wasn't cheap like this. Currently we are trying to optimize our systems to make it as cheap as possible. At that time, you would pay like almost $1 per lead. It was like really expensive. And after a while, as VC like venture capital like from Turkey reached out, they said like they want to invest in Nureply, and I didn't want it. And eventually they convinced me. We had a good valuation and everything. It was a good support. Everything was good. They made the investment. And at that time, I started building the whole Nureply's new tools and everything. And it was still not good enough to release the new version, but I was using it by myself. And it's just like pulling people out, putting them into the Nureply, saying it's a beta, etc. And I am really focused on the product. And the most important part, what makes us different is I know the struggle of the outreach. What is your problem? Where do you stuck? And I was focusing on this. There are many great tools out there, most of them focusing on bringing customers into their product, but they are not focusing on the outreach. They are focusing on bringing more people inside their outreach tool. But what we are doing different is like pushing people to do more, like add more accounts, just send as much as you can. That's why it's generally like our monthly plans and everything is like trying to not limit or like almost no earnings from our side, to give you the power of outreach, because this is the important part. The rest is just fizz buzz. And I know the struggle. I have been there. Now, I can say this is the shortest version. There are a lot of stories behind it, but yeah, this is a good starting point, I guess.
Got it. Yeah, incredible, because you've seen tools in the market, right? They have no brand story, nothing to say that, okay, we are a purpose, we are, because that's how their mission states, right? Apart from that, they're just tools. If you just want to be a tool, then be a tool. But if you want to create a legacy, have people actually use the product, right? And they should get the R factor that, okay, now I got the personalized line created, and now I have the whole sequences which AI makes for me, and I can just be ready to go. Start sending emails and warming up. So whole system is working for you in your favor. I think that's what they want, and I think what we have given, what we have built, is something really solid, and it's only going to get better from here. That's what people are buying it for, and everyone is happy. That's what I can see.
Yeah,
Their position is at a quality product.
yeah. At the same time, like when I'm thinking, so we are getting a lot of compliments from the customers, like you are responding immediately. It doesn't matter when it is, because I know it feels like it feels really bad if you just stuck on something and waiting, and that's why we are focusing. You can find me wherever I am, like even while driving. When I'm sitting on a red light, I will be just like, who writes something, and how can I help them? Because what you should focus on is growing your business, not the tool, not the even the story behind. Okay, it makes sense. You feeling good to have someone understands like where you're standing, but at the same time, it doesn't matter, because you should be focusing on the growing the business and doing the important work. Outreach is just like the beginning of it. And you shouldn't focus on this. You should focus on your business and leave us, Nureply, to do the heavy work for you, to just make it easier for you. That's the motivation behind Nureply.
Yep, makes sense. Cool. So I think, yeah, let's get people to the land, to the Nureply land, where they can see behind the scenes, and how does the whole machinery operates. Where do they start from, and how does the magic of personalization takes place, right? And how you even use LinkedIn as a kind of the source to generate that first line, which makes all the difference. So let's have a demo about the product, and then
Yeah, sure.
we'll go from there.
I hope everyone can see my screen at least.
Yes,
At
visible.
least a part of it. Okay.
Part that matters.
Yeah. This is the statistics page. This is not the place you will be focusing on mostly, but this is important. You have to check how many emails you're sending, like how many of them bounced, how many leads or reply, what's going on. And I'm just like leaving this site to you. Currently, I'm sending just shy of 17,000 a month. It's not too much, but I was just like testing new things for the surprises that I will mention at the end of the video. But let's see. So the next thing is you would be going into your accounts. You should connect as many as you have. It's just like easy. You will just like click Google Workspace. Okay, next, connect your account. Or you will choose like Microsoft. Fine. These are the steps. You have to do it once. Just click on connect, then set. And if you have another SMTP provider, for example, most of our German customers are having different kind of email accounts, and you can just like fill out the form, click next, and that's it. So, and then you should start warming up your domains. This is an important part, because warming up, generally you feel like you don't need it until you realize you really need it, because it feels like most of the time it feels like yeah, my emails are going into the inbox and it works, but you don't get replies. The email providers tell you like, yeah, we delivered the email, but they don't tell you where do they deliver it. Is it in the spam? Is it on the inbox, primary, or like you don't know, you cannot know. But with the warm-up feature on Nureply, you will know how many of your emails are landing into the right spot. For example, this account, like a really exceptional one, but you will see something like this, like one of them is saved. What does it mean? It directly landed into spam and we saved it for you. But like we have sent 30 emails, 29 inbox. That's totally fine. And the second thing you should focus on is having a tracking domain. So if you're using personal Gmail accounts, you will probably cannot use it, like you cannot use this. But that's why we are pushing you to create a domain and then like connect an inbox. Because with the tracking domain, how Google or like Microsoft sees your emails is like, this is coming from nureply.org, and they have a link called tre.nureply.org. Okay, this might be connected and seems okay. And if you put your tracking domain, we will make your links look like a real, like a tracked link. And if you click on it, if they click on it, if a lead clicks on it, you will see it will be just like redirecting in a second. But at that second, we will track, okay, this person clicked and we have to redirect them to here. And you won't get any, like at least 40-50% less spam rate. So this is also important part. And this part is like fully automated. You're just like clicking on stop or start. But I know there are power users, they want to control, like, I want to send this much of email in this schedule and this, etc. We are working on it. We will get there. And the next thing is daily sending limit, because generally 50 is the upper limit. And I have this account for almost a year, warming it up like from day one. And that's why sending limit is about 50. You can test it out. You can send as much as you want, but eventually, you know, everybody, like somebody will understand this is an automated email. We will try our best not to do it, but like the giants like Google and Microsoft are smart enough to understand something. But 50 email is just like a sweet spot at worst. If you want to be on the safe side, just like make it 30 and just go with it. So yeah. So the next thing, so for example, let's look at this account. So you will see a lot. So this .website, that was a test that I was doing. .website extension on the domain is not a good one to use for cold emailing. And as you can see, there are a lot of spams going like 3, 2, 1. It just like definitely, it works. This is also a 1-year-old account, but it just like stays on 93. And for example, the .co, .org, .net, you will see like 100% because it's just like works. It's not fair, but it is how it is. So these are the accounts, I guess. And so for example, this one is like literally dying now. You know, this happens if you just like don't warm it up. And I am testing like without warm up how it will behave, and it doesn't look good at all.
Okay. So it means the 67% doesn't have the warm up enabled, right?
Yeah, because warm up not enabled, and we are sending emails with it. Whatever we send, like at least 1/3 of it that we are aware of going into the spam.
Okay. And so like the one where we have the 95% help, is it that your emails are written like you would write to a friend that doesn't include spam words? So that's why it has a good health, or you have done some configuration from your end that makes it reach into primary folder?
It might be combination of all of them. So that's the hard part. So like we are trying to make it easier for you. So the reasons would be, the first one is you didn't warm up enough. You didn't warm your inbox enough, and it is going into the spam, because you need to show the email service provider like Gmail, the Hotmail, or whatever you are using, that these emails are important, and whatever is you are sending from as a warm-up email from that account, we will be checking from our side and say like, this is an important one. Even if you mark it as a spam, I will mark it as not spam and tell you, like basically teaching the algorithms of the Google and Microsoft, we will tell them like, you are doing something wrong. You should learn from my actions, and these are not spam. And eventually, like it will become like more and more healthier. That way you will land into the less into the spam. At the same time, you should be really aware of your email copy, because if you're using like the spam words, you're using like a really sketchy things, we don't even have to block you. You know, every email service provider will block you, and you cannot send anymore. We are getting complaints about it, and most of the time when I check, like 99% of the time, when I check their accounts, they are literally sending something that you shouldn't send. It gives you a problem, but you know, I understand from the customer standing point, you know, they want to blame someone, and we don't want to blame them back. And we are just like telling, maybe you should change your copy a bit. How about this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense, because what if warmup is correct, everything is good, but your copy has so much spam, you know, thing that even Google says, okay, you're legit, but you write scrappy stuff, I'm sending you to spam.
Yeah,
You don't deserve primary tag.
you know these emails, right? Like they say like, I am the grandchildren of the king of Jamaica, you know, and
Yeah,
then you
Nigerian
know,
prince, right?
yeah, Nigerian prince, exactly. Like, and then like you are, of course, this is a spam, and if you're putting this into your copy, you cannot expect Nureply or any other person in the world to like put it into the inbox. It's not possible, you know. You have to really aware of what you're doing. And yeah, like let's move to the lead lists. So we have a do not contact list. This is like, you can add like whatever you want to put in here, and we will not accept, even if you try to upload it or even you're sending, etc. This is like a really basic, and I don't want to go over it too much. But the next thing is you will just like add a lead list. Let me pick something easy for the eyes at least.
Yep.
Just a second. Would that one work? Yeah. So basically you will just like put, if this is a first name, this is the column name from your CSV file. And
True.
these are the variables that you want to use. And if you just like put first name is first name and the last name is last name, and title, whoops, we don't have title, but I can still import it as a custom variable. And company name for emails. Okay, this goes into company name. An email, okay, this is definitely an email. And you can add as many as you want, but what's important is if you don't put the person LinkedIn URL or the website, we cannot personalize. Just think about
Makes
it.
sense. Makes sense.
You know, you didn't give us any information and you're expecting us to just like magically know everything. This doesn't work. You have to give us the LinkedIn URL like this and the website URL like this. And that way we know we have to set, like check these and plus their name and everything, and combine all of them, make something logical, put everything in like into the AI with huge steps. It's not just like, we're not using, most of the time what you're seeing as a personalization is just like put everything into the GPT-4 and expect a magical result. It doesn't work like this. We have to be sure if the website is related and what they're doing is correct, if this person is really the person that you're putting as a first name, etc. We are doing everything in the background. And the next thing is just like creating list. But I have already created one. And if you open your lead list, you will see everything you put for that person. But this personalization is the magical part. Before that, let me show you how do you personalize one list. click personalize, it will tell you like you have 1,000 leads with LinkedIn URLs, and you have 1,000 leads. All of them also has the website URL. And you will choose like, I just want to focus on their website copy, or I just want to focus on their LinkedIn, or I want both. And we have few writing styles that we are sure this is like a good enough. And you can put like funny, you can put formal, and you can choose between like 6 different languages. People are asking like, why don't you have like 100 different languages? Because we have tested, talked, showed to the people from these countries, and most of them says like, okay, AI knows how to talk, but we don't talk like this. And if you're not sure, we don't put it into Nureply. And when you click start personalization, it will start personalizing everything. And in here, when you open your lead list again, you will see this person have like, who is this? Let's check the name. This person is Kiel. I hope I didn't butcher their name as well. And they are the founder of Propel. And we write something about them. Like, this is putting something that probably interesting for them, because we are putting their company name, we are putting like you are doing this in that company and you are working since then, like whatever we can find, and trying to squeeze it into at most like 2 sentences, because nobody likes to read like a block of text, huge wall of text. It becomes like, even I get a cold email, I was like, you know, man, you should definitely make it shorter, because I don't have any time. I don't know what you're selling. You're just like telling me a huge story. You should tell the story in the meeting. You shouldn't tell me everything in the first email. And if you want to just like, if you don't like this one, for example, for that person, like let's say, okay, I just want a new one. It will try to personalize again. Okay, did it and changed it a bit, but probably this is what AI thinks is the best for that lead. Depending on the data we have, like maybe million emails, we have tested the copy and understood which icebreaker is working the best, and this is the result.
All right. And I think people are asking, I think it might be a question that if you upload, so with website, right? So how does it personalize using website? Or does it use any company's information? Like you have been this your organization has been there since these many years, and you have done a good job maintaining it. So if they just upload website, if they don't want to do it intentionally, so how does it personalize in that way? Is there a different combination you're using for that?
Yeah, good question. So that's an interesting one. So we have done a lot of testing on this.
Yep.
And what I have seen, like almost like 70-80% of the time, I don't remember the exact benchmark results, but that was like what sticks me out. So if somebody or like a company talking about themselves in a website, like for example, their landing page, if they're talking in a language or like a way, for example, they are using the slang they are using in their industry, or if they're being too formal, if they are being like, something sticks out, like shows what they are believing in, because this is how you show your landing page. If you're like a really funny person, and if you have a personal website, you wouldn't put like a fully like grand suite, like with a smoking and talking about like really, because this is not your personality, and every company has a personality as well. So we are checking how they're writing, what they have mentioned about themselves, and what's the most important part they are mentioning about themselves. So, and then you have something that talking like them. So it's not just like something that, yeah, information is important. If you give us the LinkedIn page, we can check and understand better. That's correct. But at the same time, we are talking like someone from their company. And that way they feel like, okay, they know about us. That triggers this. You don't realize, you sometimes, for example, we are adding like few different words into the copy, and customers are just like saying, this is not something that we are using. Yes, it is not you're using, but it is what this company uses to explain themselves. And if you use the similar words, they will be like, yeah, okay, these guys know our industry. That's the feeling that we want to give. I hope that answered your question.
Yep, makes sense. Yep. Yeah, I think that's what's important, and that's why I always recommend people to add the LinkedIn stuff, because from there you get what they're literally posting and what they're doing. You get more personalized information when you have a combination of both, right? So you're talking about them and the company. So that is a clear combination for a first line. So they should have both of them, if they can upload.
Yeah, just like to be like 100% open to about it. So we generally don't talk about what they are posting, because if you focus on it, so there's like a funny story behind it.
Yeah, they
If you
can.
focus
Yeah.
on this, because if you focus on this, let's say somebody is like really into the surfing, but they're working on a corporate job, and if you mention surfing, they will ask you a question, and they will be
I
like,
stopped.
yeah, like, and you will be like, no man, I saw it on your LinkedIn. And he will be like, yeah, that was a life update. What about business? Like, it doesn't make sense. Or even if you just check every blog and write something about it, they will be going deeper into the topic. For example, like the medical industry, you are reaching out to them to do their marketing, but you mention about something about like their blog article, it was something like medical research. And they will be, okay, what do you know about this? And you don't know anything about it, and you will be stuck. You cannot talk in that meeting, you cannot say anything. So you shouldn't be focusing on like the personalization has to be like really on point. No, it's not the case. It has to be on point, but it has the reason it's there is because you want their you want them to like be interested in you. It doesn't matter if you know the whole industry really good, because probably you don't. Nobody knows everything, and you don't want to focus on this. You just want them to read your whole email. And if you do this, and if your product or service is good, they will be talking to you. It doesn't make sense to just like talk about what they are talking about, but talking like them and make them feel understood.
Makes sense. Yep.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. This is the sequences. This is where the magic happens. And I guess like you already realize these are the good results. We don't like all of them, like really the best, but this is what I have. So, because let me be open again. These are the different copy testing, click testing, different kind of stuff to serve you better. So you cannot expect me to have the best campaigns, because I am testing everything, even the worst case scenario for you, to give you the best. So just like,
Man, I like the open rates. I just want to know what you wrote there.
yeah. There are like interesting campaigns like this one,
Yeah.
like this one. These are interesting results, that's correct, but like let's focus on, for example, the latest one. So you can see how many emails we have sent for that campaign, how many of the leads we contacted, open rate, reply rate, click rate, and the bounce. So if I open this campaign, what I'm gonna see is like the stats, how, like when did I send how many, like how it behaved and everything. And you can see the stats again. And this is like, we just started implementing advanced analytics. You will see more and more of this, but this is an interesting result. Like in the first email, almost nobody replied, but in the second email, we have 19 replies. And the third email is kind of not working, but on the fourth, like third follow-up after the initial email, we again see a rise. So is it because of the the time zone, like time zone or timeline, or like where we are in the in the year we are sending? Is it because of the holidays or anything? Or is it like really about the whole email sending? Or like if my copy was good, so if you have the stats for like 5 campaigns and if you analyze them good, you will see generally what we are seeing is first email generally not getting the whole everything, and if your first follow-up is good, on your second email you will get a lot of replies. So we're just like trying to give you a heads up, how is it looking? And you can see the leads inside that campaign. Like we have sent 4 emails. As you can see, we have sent, waited for 5 days, 2 days, 1 day, 1 day, it doesn't work, and eventually they replied. You can see the timeline for that lead, and you can add notes. This is like a really small CRM that you can use, but of course you can still connect your HubSpot, you can connect Zapier for everything, but this is just like give you a simple basic timeline and what's going on for that lead.
Correct. So that subject line is what I think made people like, hey, what's the secret?
Yeah. So what's the secret?
Yeah. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
I guess that was our customer success manager's idea. That should be it. I don't remember who wrote the copy, but that was a good one. And eventually we said like, yeah, they just said at least they are gonna try, because I have emailed them like 4 times. They will be like, okay, fine, whatever. I just want to try. Okay, just shut up. And even that's a good response, because
that's a very positive response. That's a way. Otherwise, you see, hey, not interested, hey, go away.
Yeah. So on the sequence part, this is also most of the people are used to it, but I will just like go over it, what's going on. So what you have is just like text size and everything. What I suggest, don't touch anything except adding a link if it's really required and adding a variable. You can make it like a really good looking newsletter, like an email, but everybody will think, like even the Google or like Microsoft will think, okay, this is a newsletter and this is not a primary inbox email. And what you want to do with the cold emails is just like sending newsletters. There are tools for this. What you want to do is have a personal connection with that person. And there are a few advanced options, like the random. You can say like, hey, and then add a separator between and say hi, add another separator and say like, hello. When you save it, we will choose between hey, hi, or hello. But you don't have to use it just for this. So for example, for here, if you want to say deals, or you can choose like random, you can say deals and add a separator, customers. I don't know, I'm just like thinking out loud, and then say like leads. And it will be randomized for each person, chosen randomly, like deals, customers. Like if you want to close more deals, if you want to close more customers, if you want to close more leads. It doesn't make sense right now, I know, but like this is how you can use it.
Oh yeah, this is good. So it chooses like it will send some people deals, it will send some people customers. Then you can test it out. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. And then you can just like, instead of like what we were saying, engage, right? So instead of engage, okay, let's put that's an easy one, engage, and interact. I don't know, just like choose between them. And that way, every copy you're sending, it will be looking different, and it will be different for each person. So you can see like who replied, check him and see like which one was the best one, and have the analytics, check it, see it, and react to it. And you can say like, wait for 2 days, send the second email. Wait for 2 days, wait for 1 day, okay, fine. But we also have a really secret one, this preview. It takes time to generate a real, like the whole preview, but it's worth it. So most people just focusing on sending the email and writing a really good copy. But you should also focus on what do they see in like when they receive the email for the first time. As you can see, they are just like seeing, hi, Lucy. And then your leadership at Neuralens truly is when the way you steered and whatever. And they're like, okay, this is talking about me. This is the important part. This is where you optimize. And for the Outlook, it's also different. As soon as they click, they see the whole email copy. And for the Yahoo, generally people don't use it, but this is what will they see. And it doesn't end here. So the next thing is how it will look when you open the whole email. And if it's just like looking like a block of text, wall of text, you will see like, okay, I don't have time to read this. And you shouldn't do this at all. And most of the people using their phones to read emails, and this is what you will see. Like as soon as you send it, okay, so this is the preview for the Gmail.
Okay.
And this is for the Android. And you're focusing, okay, you optimized your subject line really good. And they're curious. They clicked, okay, they saw, this is about me and what's going on. I will help you close more deals, etc. Like they will have an understanding what's going on. And the small devices, and if it opens on small device, because it looks really different than the huge device, because it's like the text is longer, you have more space, and it's just like looks like a one line. But how does it look on a smaller device? It doesn't look like a one line. It still looks like a lot of text to read. And after you optimizing everything, we have an email scoring system. Generally about 90 is good, but you cannot trust on this. You should know so this gives you an idea, like, is it like really long? Is it short enough? Is it like, for example, like this is like increasing a length a bit? That's generally correct. But at the same time, is it correct for industry? This is just giving you an idea. But you have to focus and understand your niche, your industry, who you are emailing to. Otherwise, these are just like arbitrary scores. So the next thing is the options. As you can see, I can connect as many email accounts I want into the this campaign. Nureply will do like pick a random email, like available random email for the first initial email. And the second, third, or fourth email will be sent from that initially chosen email. So that way, in one campaign, you can have endless sender accounts. We will just like use whatever available, just try to optimize it, focusing on a lot of parts of your email account, but eventually we will choose the best one for that lead. I guess you had a question about this, Karan. Is this answer like good enough?
Yeah. I think it was the email rotation. Yeah. So I think this is how it's going to work out. Okay.
Yeah. So mail rotation is a good term that I don't use as much, but I guess this is how the industry talks.
Yeah.
I don't like using slangs and everything because there might be people that just like starting out to outreach, but okay.
You know what? It's in the industry. I mean, people used A/B testing. They use A/Z testing, like A to Z.
Yeah.
I mean, why? What's A to Z? So I said, I saw it with 3-4 people. I said, why are you using that? Okay, then they meant, okay, we are testing out multiple things and it's not just 2 things. So then I can say, then you can term it as multivariate testing if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It becomes confusing, I don't like this. It has to be like really simple and on point. And you can add like a CC email that you want to send with every email sent from this campaign, or BCC. And we have follow-up prioritization, because sometimes, like, let's say you want to reach out like in that campaign 5,000 people, but you only have 50 email accounts. So if you focus on the initial email priority, we will try to send all the initial emails and then start sending the second ones. On the balance, it will be like send half of the leads like new leads, and half of them, like the other half, send the follow-ups. If you just want to follow up first, it will send the first emails, that's for sure. And then if there is a follow-up waiting, it will send the follow-up, but not a new initial email for that person. So it's just like, you can test it out. Generally, balance is a good idea, and that's why it's the default. And you can stop after a reply. You can stop after a click. You can choose the days it's allowed. You can like click tracking, open tracking. Most people will say, no, it's not a good thing to track. It is if you have a good domain and good reputation. If you are warming up enough, if you're not sending any spam, it will be okay. And time zone, of course, start and ending hours. And then this is like the thing that we are trying to make your emails more human. So we will wait at least 5 minutes. So this is not affecting the whole campaign. Actually, it is, but like the email accounts connected to this campaign. So if one email sent from an email address that you have in that campaign, the second email will wait at least 5 minutes before sending it.
Nice.
And this is okay, like you will wait 5 minutes, but think it like the email service provider, like Google. They will think like, this account is sending every 5 minutes, not 6, not 4, not 7. It's just like 5 and 5. That's why we just adding additional random wait time. This is 5, which means it will wait at least 5 minutes, 0 to 5, or 5 plus 5, 10 minutes before sending the next email. We are randomizing it, so nobody will understand like what's going on, because
so there's no
human,
no pattern,
exactly, because as a human you cannot send every 5 minutes. I don't know if you're a superhuman or anything, but if you're not, you cannot send it. You have to just like make it random, because we are random creatures.
Yeah.
And
so we don't have a timestamp, like a stopwatch.
Exactly. And it's like, just wait for the I have to send. It doesn't work like this. So daily sending limit for campaign is, for example, you have 5 campaigns, you can at most send, you have adjusted all your email accounts, and you can send at most like 1,000 email a day. But you don't want this campaign to consume everything. You will limit like 500 to this and 500 to other campaigns. And you can also limit them. Eventually, you will just like find the balance. Because some of our customers are like really focusing, I want to send less of this, more of this and that. We want to give you the flexibility.
True.
So these are the sequences for it. And if anyone has any questions, should I take them right now or like at the end?
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the next thing is multi-inbox. So some of our customers have just like one email account. You can manage everything by yourself. But if you have like me, at least 30, 40, or some of our customers even had like 200 email accounts connected, you cannot manage them. It's impossible, especially with the reply rates that you are seeing, like 10, 20%. You have reached out like 10,000 people. 10% means 1,000 people replied to you. And you have to check across 200 email. It's not working. So that's why we have the multi-inbox. And if you open a thread, what you will see is the whole story behind it. This is the latest reply, fine. But this is the first email I have sent. And this is the second one. And I have waited this, that, and then I have sent the third one and the fourth one. And eventually Samira felt like, okay, I need to reply to this guy. And she told me, okay, thank you for your email. I will look into it. Yeah, just stop. That was but it worked. So you can also reply directly within the reply, just like write whatever you want to find. Sure, let me show you around or something, but I don't want to send this right now because this is a real person. And you can forward this email to whomever you want to forward to. And you can also add it to do not contact list. And let me So this is the multi-inbox. This is generally, if you know cold emailing, this is what you're gonna see. You can filter by account, you can filter by lead list, etc., etc. These are just like the basic layers. You just need to explore and see if it makes sense for you. If not, we have a dedicated feedback button. Just tell us what you like or what you don't like. Add a new post. Tell us what you're thinking. And that's it, I guess, this part. And the last thing is the account management. This is the regular stuff that you will see. You can see your billing and what's going on, but if you're on a lifetime plan, a lifetime deal, it doesn't apply to you because you have access forever. And for the settings, you can generate an API key and connect your Slack. That way we can send, like, whenever someone replies, we will tell to your Slack connection. We have the holes appear inside Nureply, so you don't have to open Zapier to do something. You can do everything in here about Nureply. And you can create a webhook. You can listen to the events. You can see, like, I just want to listen this, that, like lead open, whatever. I had to stop it. I generally don't suggest this. It will be bombarding your webhook, but it's up to you. You have the flexibility. And for the CRM, we already have the HubSpot connection that you can import your lead list. And whenever something happens about that lead, we will add it as like a sent email or like received email or whatever to the HubSpot. And Pipedrive is on the way. And the rest is totally up to you.
Got it. Yeah,
It was
pretty
a bit
interesting.
of long one. Yeah, but
No,
like I know
it's like we have seen more longer ones, but it's like to the point and what the product does. And we have showcased some areas where even we haven't went through. Like the suggestions which you give, that if your email preview section, that's interesting part. Because a lot of people, what they do is what I used to do before, right? I used to go to a website called Litmus. I think it's Litmus,
Yeah,
something like that.
it
And
should
they
be.
used to you used to put stuff there to see where your email is going to land, right? So we never used to see the preview, right? We just send randomly and then just wait for you know God to land it in the primary tab. But or if you're doing anything wrong, it used to stop us. So if it's happening here itself, I think that's a good thing. And you're showcasing device and even operating system breakdown. That's very good, because usually what people maximum they do is they just show how it's going to land and how it's going to look at from the desktop. But many people just open it on the mobile, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
when they're on go, so stuff like that. I think that's amazing. So okay, we have a question. So we have a question
Okay.
from Brett. I'll read it out to you. So Brett
Yeah.
says, in the randomized sending of emails, example, every 5 minutes plus random delay, I see the start time and the end time. Great. Will there be further times added? Example, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Simulate lunch, and 1 p.m.
Yeah.
to 4:30 p.m. simulate drive home and dinner. And then the evening times, the 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. When you're working late into the evening. What do you think about that? I think it's a great.
That's a yeah, like a really good suggestion. That's something that I didn't think about at all, but it makes really sense, like, because you want to put a break time between like the starting and ending hour, and it makes sense. Yeah, we should definitely take a note of this, and we will see if it's really working, or we can do it like in a logical way and blend it into no reply. Why not? Yeah, definitely good suggestion.
Cool. Yeah, but I think we keep getting more questions. Before that, people would like to know, what's next, for Nureply. They've gotten some have gotten deal. Some are waiting for you to kind of showcase what's coming next. So if you can let people know, like what you're working on, what's the team working on right now, that way,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
you would be able to kind of show showcase, right? So people would know that, okay, this is coming, this is my use case, it fits, let's go and buy the product.
So it's still in the development. I cannot show you
Yeah, of
something, but
course.
I
It's
can
just you can say, you
definitely
can just show.
definitely
Yeah.
tell you
Yep.
what's what you should expect from it. So
Perfect.
the
That's
first
what.
thing is we have a lot of like people asking us, adding a team and organization support. That's our priority. The second thing is adding more detailed warm-up options. That's for sure. These are the currently planned and will be working stuff. The next thing for the Nureply is like an interesting one. So you're hearing the news. So eventually it says like people like Google and Microsoft will block and ban everything. Like you
They're
cannot
freaking
send
out.
cold emails anymore. Of course, these are going for like 2 years, but fine, even
It's
if
same like,
that's the
right?
case,
SEO is dead
yeah,
urinating since 13 years.
exactly. Every year you will see like the SEO is dead. You shouldn't be focused, but every year it works. Like, but anyway, let's say this is true. So what you need to do is making your emails more and more personalized. The next feature that the surprise that I was talking about is that's a really interesting thing. We will ask you to give us your best copy, right? Like give us whatever worked for you before and give us the details of that person, again, like the website and LinkedIn URL if possible. And we will get that copy, literally just change the words and put the details about that person for the whole email copy for you. You don't even need to use any variables. We have seen examples of this, and I know most of them just change the copy, like butchering what you are trying to say. I don't like this. What I'm trying to achieve with the Nureply and the new AI version is try to put a lot of details about a person without telling them like with a variable. Because whenever you send a cold email, if you don't know what you're doing, I can immediately tell, okay, this is a variable in here. You need to put a lot of effort. But if you're doing it with AI, with all the details about that person, it will start to merge them with the sentences, because it won't be generic sentence plus the company name. It will be your company is already working on this, and we have a solution like this for solving that. So everything will make sense in the whole context. So that's what we are working on. And after that, we have a lot of like fixing the emails with AI. Like if we can do it, adding integration with the email validation tools, so many things are coming, and we started slowly adding it to the our public roadmap. I just launched it today, and we will be adding more and more. You can also suggest something, post directly into our board. People can see, vote, and just like add a comment. So these are the things that you can suggest to us, because I know what's needed as a basics. That's how we started. But the rest is about you. If you think this option should be added, yeah, why not? Like, because you will be using the product. Of course, I'm still sending a lot of cold emails, but the reason why we are doing is as a product is you should tell us what should we do next. We know a few things that need to be added, but the rest is about you. Of course, there are like some secrets, huge things behind the scenes that we are working on it. I just don't want to promise, because as soon as I say it, I need to put a date on it. But there will be a lot of stuff coming. Other suggestions like this one, like the great suggestion from Brett is
Yeah.
like, you have to tell us what you think so we can deliver.
Correct. Yep, I think that's good. So I think you can just if you have the roadmap which Onur has already prepared, we can do a feature request. That's what it's called. So the team can then put it into an idea session, which they might work in future, and you might get it whenever you can. So that's a good add-on. So yeah, that's amazing. I think yeah, that's good. I think a lot of people had question about the API and endpoints, right? Which meant, I mean, we have a lot of people who are techies, in the sense that they use
Yeah.
external stuff for a lot of things, and they have APIs and stuff working for them, and endpoints, webhooks through which they carry forward their processes, right? So they want to send something because they might not be having Zapier accounts, right? Zapier is expensive for you to consider. It's in mostly small, medium businesses to large enterprises. So how
Yeah.
mature is API and your webhooks right now? And let's say if you're developing more, what's the timeline for people to start using it to the fullest, and stuff like that.
So currently you can use the API. We just didn't just like put everywhere where the documentation is, but if you ask us from the live chat, we will give it because it was kind of a beta testing, but it's working. We are really confident about it because we just released, it's been less than a week, I guess. And what you can expect is just like expand it more and more and more, because having an API not abused is almost impossible. You're trying to make it safer for you, and you're trying to put whatever is needed for you. But at the same time, again, like if you want to see that feature, you can still tell us, and we will give you an endpoint. But of course, you don't have to tell us everything. We know what to do. We know which parts are important for you, and we are adding them slowly but surely. So you don't have to worry about it. Every day, every week, every month, you will see a lot of new stuff coming.
Got it. I think if people have to upgrade their limits, you have to contact Onur and the team for if you want to buy more credits. Once you exhaust, just show us once you exhaust, right? Oh, I send these many emails. Then we would send them to you. All right. We have a question from Asad, so I will read it out to you. I am a freelancer and I provide service for Shopify stores only and target only the Shopify e-commerce stores. I'm completely new in cold email. Do you think I need custom domain for email outreach, or only using Gmail and Hotmail account would work at this level?
If you are going to send it with your hand, one by one, still, I wouldn't recommend Gmail or Hotmail. But if you really want to automate something, you should definitely invest in at least one domain and two inboxes, because it gives you more flexibility. And eventually, if it burns, okay, you will just like buy a new one, go on. But if the Gmail keeps blocking you, which will happen pretty soon, sooner than you think, you will regret, like, I can't even see my old emails on this. I can't even communicate. And this is a huge like an issue, because I have experienced this. I have sent a lot of emails and they blocked my Gmail account like immediately. And then like, shit, I have to check my old emails. I cannot see them. It's gone. And they cannot contact with me. But if you have a custom domain and Google blocked you, you will connect it to a Microsoft account and you will still receive emails. Maybe you lost a bit on the like switching time, but you still can connect and use that domain.
True. Okay. So yeah, if you have accounts, do add it. It's good because if you're investing, you're getting back, right? So it's like if you're using @gmail.com, it's like you're entering into lines then, and you're planning to attack it from there. And like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
So you're done then. You'll be dead within days. You won't take much time.
Probably it won't even take days.
Minutes. So you send your first email and then you're done. Go back to sleep.
I have seen this a lot. Like people are sending like, okay, I have written for this campaign for like 5 hours. I invested time and I click send and it's gone. Like it doesn't even just like send the first email.
All right, great. Okay. So you have a question from John.
I guess.
Yep. Yeah. So will you add some cold email best icebreakers that could be personalized? So it's kind of your resources library, right? So recommended icebreakers to use,
okay,
or if you are adding more from the AI perspective,
Okay. So what we are doing is like optimizing the AI with the best working for the for these cold emails, and adding as a template as a beginning state would be basically just like losing all the AI stuff in the background, because why don't you just let the AI to learn and understand the person that you want to send and write something better? Instead, why you are limiting it? That's how we look at it. So I don't think this will be eventually, like I don't ever think this will be a new feature. But if you really think you have a really good use case, just send us and tell us, like what would be the best use case and what do you see as a really good starting point, and we can talk and understand your use case. Maybe we can do a solution about it.
Correct. I think what John is saying is he's afraid of his long personalized messages. What I would recommend to you over here is I think you can even regenerate. Let's say if you see 5 emails, try and regenerating some of them, and then of course it won't be perfect as you want. You can copy it, and if you want, you can just edit some of it and start sending it. Otherwise, regenerating is the only option. But and you need to be you should be looking generic, right? You should be looking someone who has really went ahead and noticed what they wrote on LinkedIn or how good their company is. Short is fine, but you should have a medium space to that, so people actually feel that you took time to go and do some research. Otherwise, you can just regenerate.
Yeah, if you just try to make it much more shorter, what are you gonna say? So that was a problem. So I'm trying to push the AI to just write really short one, but it just says, I like your company, because what else to say in just few words? So it has to have a sweet spot. Generally, we are trying to push shortest possible, but good enough. It has to be good enough, but short. I know people don't even read. I even have a blog post, it might be second or third blog post of the Nureply. If you scroll down a lot, you will see it has to be short, it has to be on point. We don't have enough time to read emails, etc. I'm just even giving numbers, how much time it will take, how many characters you're using, etc. But just try it. Just try to understand it. And I know your point, but it couldn't get shorter than this. If you want to do it, just use a basic template, because there will be no other way to do it.
True. All right, amazing. So Asad had a follow-up question about the email domain. So he said, how many emails can he use per domain?
You can use as many as you want, but if you want a best practice, it would be one domain connected to at most 3 email accounts. If you're pushing more than this, you're risking your accounts. Instead, if you buy more domains and add 3 email accounts per domain, even if one domain starts to go into spam, it will just say, okay, the rest is still here. But if you put every egg in the same basket, and he knows what's going to happen when this basket hits somewhere or ground.
Yep, makes sense. All right. So yeah, I think till the time we get the next question, we're good. So and we are getting some good comments on our groups and everywhere. People are asking about it. So yeah, I think the next to be people I think are anticipating is the workspace, which team is already working on. So I know many of you on this call or the webinar have asked this question, so the team has considered it and they're working on it. Same with the team member section. A lot of times these things are important for you as an agency. We know that. So yeah, team has already kind of taken that feedback, which they already saw in the group. So that's working. All right. So to the next question, I think Onur, it was amazing. Thank you so much for your time, for showing us first of all, letting us know about the journey. That was good, inspiring, and then talking about the product, and then answering some questions, and even talking about some additional stuff which is coming in. So that's a lot for people to take in. And if you haven't yet grab the product, grab Nureply from RocketHub, go ahead. The discount will end on Monday. So go ahead, use the discount code, grab the deal, and start sending emails. Because if you don't send it, you won't make money. You won't make money. You won't survive.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So, and don't forget to tell us about your journey,
yep.
what you're seeing, what you did you receive. Just like tell us about yourself. I'm always here to listen to you. And it's not just about like that you're because of you're a customer, because I'm an outreach addict, you know. I just want to know what happened. What's your story? What's going on?
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so we have a question from Carson. Carson says, how can you change plans from RocketHub? No worries, you reach out to us, Carson. You just email us at support@rockethub.com. And if you want to upgrade from what you paid, we can help you get that sorted. If you like the product and you would like to get more first lines and want to send it to more people, just let us know and we'll help. Then the team Nureply will help you upgrade the account once you pay the balance. That's how it works. So thanks, Onur. Any last statements from your side to wrap this evening before we leave?
You know, just like a short story. When you don't send
Bedtime.
any
Ready for
emails,
bedtime stories.
like it's like if you don't send enough emails, you don't get any results. And I have learned this from the really hard way. If you're trying to send 10 emails and expecting a client, you will wait a lot. You know, you have to send 10,000 to be sure it's working or not. So just try to send as many as you can. And thank you for everyone and Karan for having me. Like it was really great. At least, you know, seeing the questions, like legit questions, and talking about the journey. And I
Yep.
wish people just like come to me and write from the live chat like, I have done this, it was like a really good story, etc. I just want to really hear from them. And
Yep.
thank you for everyone joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we are the only marketplace where we do fun webinars and webinars where we help you engage, right? We make you ask questions. We make you understand the founder from within, from deep, from where they came from, who the team is, right? So that matters to you, and you would be able to take a better decision to buy the product. All right. So thank you, Onur, and I will take your leave and we'll give you now time to relax and work on your reply. And thank you. And I know the team is here as well. Arim and Arun, thank you so much for joining as well. And Charlie, everyone from the team, thank you so much. And yeah, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're from.
Have a great one. See ya.
All right. Bye bye.